Hello and welcome back to my craft room, my very messy craft room. I've got a couple of videos to record today and then I'm going to be AWOL for a few days because I really need to get this place sorted. I have invested in a few little storage things, little storage containers and pegboards and things to try and get myself a bit sorted, and I'm really going to have to let go of some stuff that I just don't get to use. It's all stuff I would use in the end, and if I had a huge room I would keep it all because I know I'd use it in the end, but I've got to the point where I can't find anything. I used to be able to say I know it looks stuffed and chaotic, but I know where everything is. I don't anymore. I keep losing things. That's not a good thing. Anyway, so let's get to the point of what I was going to talk about. So in just over a week, the great big little Stitchery swap take 3 will kick off. I know lots of people have already been in the Facebook group and on Discord finding their swapsters, but I wanted to come on today just to outline all the kind of rules, such as they are, and guidelines, and let you know what the swap is all about and what you need to do if you want to join in. The other little video I'm going to make is just for anybody that's not done it before, how to make the little squares. So if you want some ideas for how to get started and make your very first Stitchery swap squares, I'm going to put both videos out at the same time, so I will put a link to that other video below. I didn't want to do it all in one video because it just will get a bit long and cumbersome. So the great big little Stitchery swap, what's it all about? It started as a way to connect in a more kind of tangible way with some of the people that I'd started making friends with all over the world through the internet, through this amazing hobby of ours, through YouTube and Discord and Facebook. It was just a way to, I mean, we'd all felt like, we were all feeling like we'd kind of found our tribe, as it were, anyway, through all of the creative hobbies that we all enjoy and share with each other online. But I thought one day last year, it was less than a year ago, I can't believe it because it's become such a big thing. This is the 3rd one already. It was just a little idea that occurred to me. Wouldn't it be nice to just make a little tiny square of Stitchery and swap little squares of Stitchery with people all over the world? So I just put the idea out there. Anybody fancy it? I thought I might get half a dozen takers or whatever. Anyway, it just went absolutely nuts. And there have been people swapping all over the world that have never even heard of me. They've no idea that it started here at all. And that's been amazing just to watch it kind of fly by itself. Absolutely incredible. And the first couple of swaps were such a joyful experience. It's a joy to connect with people in that way, to make the squares for people and to have the squares come back in. I will put a link to my playlist, my great big little Stitchery playlist, and on there you'll find loads and loads of videos of me opening all the squares that came in from people and go through boxes of tissues because I cried every time. If you haven't been through it, you won't know yet what an emotional experience it is to open that little piece of Stitchery that someone has created for you. It's just incredible. Now, having said all of that, I am going to sit this one out because I've made one book full of all the Stitcheries that came in. But the first time I swapped with 44 people and I got in more than I sent out as well. So, and then I did the second swap and did less, but I still got some more in. This is the basket. I've made one book up already. This is the basket of swaps I've still got. So I want to take this time to really enjoy going through every single one of these squares again and stitching it into my special treasury of Stitchery books, as I call it. I've got at least 2, probably 3 books to make. So what I'm going to do is take this time during the swap to do that, and I will come back from time to time and show you my progress on those and how I'm putting the books together. We've got 2 or 3 different ways to put the books together. Now, good example of losing things at the moment, I can't find my first Stitchery swap book, my first Treasury of Stitches book, which is really weird because I can't see where it can be hiding, but hey ho, it'll turn up during the big tidy up. So yes, I'm not actually going to be taking any swaps this time, but what I'm going to do today is tell you how you can join it, and if you would like to, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy watching this from the sidelines, and as I say, revisiting all the beautiful squares that were sent in to me during the first 2 swaps. If you haven't done it before, you are going to love it. Just jump in. Don't worry if you're a complete beginner. That is fine. This is a really good way to jump in and have a go. And if you're coming back for a second or third go, you already know how much fun this is going to be. Okay, so where to start? It's really difficult to know where to start. So what you will need to do if you would like to join the swap is make these little squares of stitchery. It can be hand stitchery, machine stitchery, whatever kind of stitchery you enjoy is fine. You need to make your little squares 4 inches or 10 centimetres square. That's where the main gubbins should be, and then add an extra seam allowance. About, I don't know, what's that, about a centimetre, 1/4 of an inch is enough, a little bit more just to be on the safe side, because some people like to turn the squares that they're making, just checking I am recording, yes, the squares that they're making into quilts. So they just need, or sometimes they might want to mount them on something. So it's just a little turning just for people to be able to actually stitch them together if that's what they want to do, or turn them under to mount onto something. You don't need to worry about backing them, and if you want to, you can if you like, but you don't need to. And you don't need to worry about finishing the edges either, again, unless you want to. The swap actually kicks off on the 1st of April, but you have until the 30th of June. You have 3 whole months to send your squares off. Now that doesn't mean they have to reach the recipients by the 30th of June. You just need to have got them in the post by the 30th of June. After that, it's kind of out of your control. You can't guarantee when something's going to arrive, and sometimes things have been taking weeks and weeks. I've noticed more swaps still arriving from the last swap. The deadline was the 31st of December to send out, and in the last 2 weeks there have still been swaps trickling in where they've gone astray and been found again and whatever. I think one was on the way. I was seeing Mary Chen the other day. She was saying she's in Beirut, and one of the swaps that went to her ended up going to Malaysia by mistake or something like that. So just, yeah. So I've said about the size, I've said about the deadline, can be hand or machine stitching. There is an optional theme. You can totally ignore this if you want to, but I like to come up with a theme because some people do like that as a starting point. And the optional theme this time is windows. And there are a lot of different things you can do with that. I think when I come back to do the simple ideas for your first square video, I will also come back again to do just a couple of ideas that have occurred to me, although I'm not joining in. I couldn't help but turn it over. The cogs get going anyway. And I've had 2 or 3 ideas that could work for the theme of windows, which I will come back and share with you at some point. But you've got loads of time. I would advise you to keep your squares under 5mm. So what you need to do is make your square, put it inside a card to go in an envelope, and keep the whole thing no more than 5mm thick. And certainly here in the UK, that means it can go as large letterpost. And the girls in Australia and America have been sending them as card only, and they've been finding that it will just go as if you were sending a greetings card. I would strongly advise you not to send extras. Certainly don't feel obliged to send extras. I've been saying that all the way through. I didn't. I just made my card. I made cards, and I put my little swap squares inside the card, and that's all I sent. It is lovely when people want to send you extras. It's so sweet. It's really, really nice, and you know, it's such fun to get them, but I didn't want anyone to feel obligated, because it can be daunting, especially if you've got a lot of people to send to, and also, you know, it puts up the cost of postage. But what I hadn't realised until someone brought it up on the Facebook group the other day is that some people received swaps with extra things in and ended up paying customs duties on them. Now, touch wood, I've been lucky. I've been sent a lot of lovely things by people. That has never once happened to me. So I don't know, it's just random, I guess. I don't know why that is. But that's another reason, I think, to keep it simple. Just send the swap. Please don't feel obligated to put any extras in. I would suggest that if you want to do that, or you have any specific ideas about whether you want to follow the theme, if you would like particular colours or whatever, talk to your swapsters. We'll come to that in a minute. So you need to decide, if you're going to join in, you need to decide how many squares you want to make. If it's your first time, I would say just do a couple to start with if you're not sure. Certainly if you're a new stitcher, don't take on too much, otherwise it can become overwhelming and you'll end up dropping out, you know. Maybe just do a couple to start with. There will be people looking for, judging by the past 2 times, there will be people looking for new swapsters all the way through, right up almost to the next deadline, so you'll always be able to find more rather than take on too many. I would also say at this point that if you do find something unexpected comes along, life sometimes happens, doesn't it, and gets in the way. Don't stress about it. You don't want to let people down. Don't overpromise yourself. You know, try. You know, obviously we don't want to let people down. But if you find that something unexpected has happened and you're going to be late posting your squares out or whatever, or you can't do it, you've realised you can't do it, don't worry, don't stress about it. Everybody's very sweet when these things happen. Everybody in our community is just so lovely. But just let people know, either private message them or put a post on the Facebook group saying, hey guys, you know, I'm really sorry, something's happened. I'm not going to be able to fulfill my swaps within the deadline, or you know, just communicate. People are really, really nice about it. Just let them know. So decide how many you want to make. Another important thing is to decide where you're prepared to swap with. Do you want to stick within your own country? Again, thinking about postage costs. Or are you happy to swap all over the world? And be really clear about that. Then the next big step is to go into the Facebook group and or the Discord community. You can do both. They're both free to join. I will put links in the description box. You'll find my link tree. Click on the link tree. And then when you go there, click on Discord and or Facebook group, not Facebook page, Facebook group. And then you can go to either or both of those places and start looking for swapsters. I don't do anything to facilitate the swaps between you. All I'm doing is putting the idea out there and providing the platform where you can find your swapsters and then share all your incoming and outgoing swaps. The next step then is to go to the Facebook group or the Discord community and put a post out saying, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm in whatever country you're in, I'd like to find however many swapsters you're looking for, and I'm happy to swap with just people in the UK or the US or Australia, wherever you might be, or I'm happy to swap with people all over the world. Whatever, be really clear about that, and make sure you say Stitchery swap, because there will be an art swap going on at the same time. So let me show you the kind of thing. We'll go to the Facebook group now and I'll show you the kind of thing. Okay, so here is the Arty Farty Annie group. Now, very important to note is at the top here, you can see, now obviously it'll look different on a phone and things, but you can see in the featured posts here, this is pinned in the featured posts, there's a post that I've done which says the Great Big Little Stitchery Swap 3, and that's where you'll find the rules and guidelines if you need to just refresh yourself about anything. Now, lots of things. I'm just looking for one where you can see all the amazing things that are shared in here. I'm just looking for one where somebody's looking for swapsters. There was a little flurry of them a couple of weeks ago when I did a video. I'm not going to find one now, am I? Arty Farty people don't like to be called Arty Farty. They prefer the full, more pretentious artisan fartisan. Here's Deborah Calderon. I believe she's in Canada, and she's talking about it was Deborah that brought up the point about posting, not to put any extras. Plain envelope fits through that width measuring tool at the post office. That's the 5mm limit. Yeah, she's suggesting not to put it in an envelope that looks fancy because you might end up paying duty on it. Keep it simple, please. I think that's very good advice, and nothing extra. And this is where then people were answering saying that they'd ended up paying fees and stuff, and yeah, we don't want that. Okay, here's someone saying, hey there, I'm still looking for anyone from Canada willing to swap with me on the next Stitchery swap in April. Yeah, not a lot of Canadian people. So any Canadians out there? We didn't have great Canadian representation in the galleries, which I'll show you in a minute either. So let's hope we get some more stitchers from Canada involved this time. So that's the kind of thing you need to do. I'm trying to find another example of swapping. There's the lovely swap that Sandy Irvin sent from the US before Christmas and has only just arrived with Mary in Brunei, so just goes to show. Here we go. Here's a perfect example. So this is from Diane Watson. She's in Adelaide, South Australia, looking to do 3 Stitchery swaps in Australia if anyone is interested. So that's really clear. She said Stitchery, she said how many she's after, she said where she is and where she's happy to swap with. And then what you need to do then is, if I click on more comments here, people have said, yes, I'd like to be one of your swap buddies. I call them swapsters. Different people have different names for it. Someone's saying, I'll swap with you if you like. I'm in Queensland. And then what you need to do, once you've connected with people like that, then you need to private message them. Let me come back up here. So that's one really important point. Do not then put your details in the comments or in a post or anything like that. You wait for someone to express an interest by commenting on your post, and then you PM each other via Facebook Messenger. Don't please share any details. I've been talking too much. It's spitting feathers. Yeah, don't share any personal details of any kind on there. We are a private group now, but you know that doesn't make us invincible. It doesn't. We you know you need to take care. Private message each other to then exchange your addresses, so you can send your swaps back and forth. And then you can also say, if there's anything, like if you want to, you can say to your my take on it is, I'm going to make a piece of what I love to share with my swapster, but what some people do is say, have you got any favorite colors? You know, like one person was saying, I'd like to have purples, I want to put them all in a quilt and I'd like to have lots of purples. Another person was saying, I want to do cats. So she asked each of her swapsters to include a cat in some way. You know, there's all sorts of different things going on. My take on it is, do a bit what you love to share with your swapster and send that. And that's, you know, I just got such an amazing variety of styles and stitching techniques, and it was just but it's up to you how you do that. Totally up to you. Don't forget that as well as posting and saying that you're looking for swapsters, don't forget to also scroll through and look for other people's posts. If you all just went on there and just posted and waited for people to come to you, you won't necessarily find each other. You need to also go and look at other people's posts and respond to them. Sounds like an obvious thing to say, but I don't think it is always. So remember to just scroll through and see if anyone else is looking. So let's have a quick look at the Discord. I've just done all that without showing you, without going to screen recording. Oh, let's try it again. Oh dear. Okay, going back into the Discord group again. I've just done all of that, and all I've filmed is my own face looking at the screen. Oh dear me. Okay, let's try it again. Here is the general chit chat room in our Discord community, and this is where kind of most of the chit chat goes on, and probably the best place to start when you first join. But then there are lots of other rooms down the left hand side here that you can click on to talk about different, more specific things. The section we want to look at today, it's the public gallery section, and down here you'll see several rooms including a Stitchery swap room. If I go to the Stitchery swap room, you can see that. Let's find someone. So here's Sue. She's just joined and she's saying who she is, where she is. She'd like to arrange some swaps with people within Great Britain. And Jen has replied to there and saying, I'd love to swap with you. I'm not sure if I'm going with the window theme. If you're up for it, PM me with your details. So that's the kind of thing, you know, that's where you could say, oh no, I really want to only do windows. I really only want to talk with people who want to do windows. I think it's unlikely anybody would do that, I think. But, you know, that's the kind of thing you can just strike up a conversation with your swapsters about that. And the important thing here is PMing. So if I wanted to PM Jen, if I right click on her name there, this all these options come up, and then I can scroll down here and I can left click on message. I'm not going to click on that now because I do have private messages with Jen and I don't want to show them to the whole world. Not that we say anything rude or awful, but they're private messages. And I could click on that, and then I can have a private conversation with Jen and arrange a swap and swap address details and stuff. Only me and Jen would be able to see that, so it's a secure way to swap your details. And I can see, if you have a look up here, and this is Jen's little little avatar, it's got a little red one by it, and that means there is a private message from Jen there for me. I won't click on it now because that's a safe private message. And up here, this little kind of Discord icon, if you hover over that, you can see it comes up direct messages, and if you go into there, you can see all of the people you've had direct messages with. So again, be very careful not to put your private details here in this room or anywhere on Discord. You know, that's it feels very private in here, and it could be easy to think that that it's safe to swap details in here, but please be mindful of your own security. Now, if you have any problems with things like how to direct message or anything at all in navigating or interacting within the Facebook group or the Discord community, just shout. There are lots of people there. It's a very friendly, supportive group of people, and somebody will always help you. There are several people who are actually admins in the Facebook group who will be keeping an eye on things. Several people in the Discord community we call tutors, who will jump in and who will keep an eye on things and will jump in and try and help if they can see someone's getting lost. But you know, we can't always notice, so just shout up. I'm aware that I have thrown a lot of information at you, and there are going to be things that you think, oh, what did she say about that again? I will put the link tree in the description box so you can find your way to the groups. If you go into in that Stitchery swap room that I showed you in Discord, I'm going to have to go back there now, hang on. So here's back to the Stitchery swap room. If you look at the top here, obviously this might look different on different devices, but basically you're looking for a pin icon like this, or something that comes up and says pinned messages. If you click on pinned messages, you can see all of the guidelines come up. And this just recaps everything that you need to know. And there's also a link to a video, the previous video that I did just introducing this. I will now change it so that it links back to this video, so you can always watch this again if you need to as well. If you're looking for inspiration, as I say, I'm going to come back and do a couple of short videos, one just doing just a couple of ideas for really simple beginner friendly squares. I say beginner friendly, it's the kind of squares I like to do as well, you know. And then I've also got some ideas for different things you might try if you want to follow the Windows theme. I'm sure everybody will have different ideas for that. And as I say, the theme is completely optional. If you've got other ideas, you don't need to follow it at all. It's just for people that want that as a starting point. Another good place to look for inspiration is I've made 2 online galleries, one for each of the previous 2 swaps. I will put links to them in the description box below this video as well. I'm just going to give you a quick look now. So here we are. This is the first Stitchery swap gallery, and you can see I've separated them all into the countries where they were made. So if you click on UK here, just take a second to load. You can see all of the different squares that came in that were sent out from the UK. Well, not all the ones I managed to catch. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you can scroll through here and look for all kinds of, see what everybody else has done if you're looking for ideas. Now, if somebody has given me, like here we go, this one is by Tori, so you might well know our Tori from Cool Kooky Creatures. If you hover over a square, so if I hover over Christine there, my cursor just stays the same. If I hover over Tori's square, the little hand pops up, which implies there is a link. If I click now, left click on that, it goes straight to Tori's YouTube channel. But not everybody gave me a link. I won't look at them now because you can look at these in your own time. And here's the Stitchery Swap 2 gallery. Again, divided into all the different countries where they were made. Let's click on one randomly. Let's click on Australia. There we go. Need more Australians this time. More Australians, more Canadians. Come on, guys. So yes, if you're looking for inspiration, check what people have been posting in the Facebook groups and Discord. Have a look at the previous Stitchery Swap galleries. I will be coming up with a couple of videos over the next few days, just giving you some ideas to get you started if you're a beginner. And one more important thing to mention is, please, if you would like your squares to be included in the next gallery, the Great Big Little Stitchery 3 gallery, you need to take pictures of the squares that you make before you send them off take pictures. Take the best pictures you can get. You've taken lots of time to make those squares, so take a little bit extra time to get a good photo. Natural light tends to be the best, natural daylight, unless you've got an amazing lighting setup, which most of us haven't. Good natural daylight tends to be the best. Not a great big bright sunlight thrown across it, but kind of more diffuse natural daylight. I tend to do it either in my bathroom or the conservatory, depending on the time of day, because I've got light coming in from more than one direction there. In other rooms I haven't. So get the best light you can. Put it down flat and get your head right over it so it's straight on. If you take it at this angle, it comes out this shape, and it's never going to show it to its best advantage. There's nothing I can do to edit. Well, there is, but it would take me so long. I can't do it with hundreds of squares. So get your head right over it. Make sure you take a picture of the square, the whole square, and nothing but the square. When we take pictures of the squares that come into us, we like to show them, make a pretty little photo with the card that it came in and all that, and that's lovely. But for the squares, the pictures of the squares to go in the gallery, you don't want it like this, you don't want it like that. You just want to see the square properly. You can see from what I've just shown you. So do that, and then send those pictures. Send pictures of your square. You don't have to do them all at once. You can send them one at a time as you send them out. I won't publish the gallery until long after the deadline, so don't worry about spoilers. Just get them sent to me straight away. Find my email, the link tree in the description box. You can also find my email there, and email them to me. Put the word gallery somewhere in the subject line so that I can do a search and make sure I don't miss any later on, because when you're dealing with hundreds, you don't want a couple to slip through the net. And just tell me what name you want displayed in the gallery. You know, whether your full name, a nickname, whatever name you want displayed in the gallery. Tell me what you want. Tell me what country you're from so I can put you in the right section. And tell me if you've got any links you want. So if you want a link to your Etsy shop, YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever, I can put one link per square. The first time I trawled through and found and actually looked for all of the squares, but there were like, I think it was close on 600. It just took me days and days and days to do. So last time I just included the photos, the squares that people had sent me photos of. But I know a lot of people missed it. So, you know, do as well. You know, I know a lot of people joining the swap and never see my videos or read my posts, so they won't be aware of this. So if you're swapping with people, do feel free to say to them, don't forget to send Annie your pictures. You know, just spread the word. Spread the word. You can't say it too often, because it's just such a shame. I know I probably didn't even catch half the squares that went back and forth last time. So yeah, the one last thing to mention that might not be as obvious, I don't think I've mentioned it before, and then it occurred to me the other day, maybe I should actually say that, is when your squares come in, when you start to receive your squares, if you're a YouTuber like me, you'll show all the openings. If you're on Instagram, you can show pictures on Instagram, or share them with us. Please do share them with us in the Facebook group and the Discord community. It's half the fun, is seeing all the squares going back and forth between people. It's just amazing. The sense of community and the just sheer joy that this kind of project, for want of a better word, generated was just incredible. It was just incredible. I'm getting serious FOMO, fear of missing out, because I've decided to sit this one out. I really want to do justice to the squares I had in the last two swaps, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy putting all of them into a book. I need to sit this one out. We'll be doing another one starting in October and finishing at Christmas, so I will be joining in again with that one. I think that's all I need to say. I've been rambling on for blimmin' ages, and I'm going to have to edit that right down. If you have any questions at all, please pop them in the comments. I check pretty much every day, although I'm going to be a bit AWOL for the next few days, so bear with me. And you can also, of course, ask questions in the Facebook group and Discord. There's specific people who help me so much. I'm so grateful for them, monitoring the groups and things now. But anybody in those groups, everybody is just, it's such a warm and friendly community. You know, there will always be someone who will help you out if you've got any questions or whatever. So that's it. Have fun. If you're going to join in for the first time, or if you're coming back for a second or third go, just have fun. I can't wait. I'm going to so enjoy watching it, even if it is a bit from the sidelines. And as I say, I will pop back and show you how I'm getting on with my with creating my treasuries, I'm calling them, all full of the squares that I got in the last 2 swaps. So that's it. Quite enough waffle from me. I'm going to go on and make a video now just showing the basics of how to put a square together. I will put a link to that in the description box as well. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have fun stitching, have fun swapping, and I'll see you all again really soon.